Yo, what up everybody, it's P-Sci. Welcome to another video. So, going second Orcust, went X1 today, 16-man locals. I only lost to Altergeist, but the deck actually shined the way that I wanted it to, so I think this is the first time where I'm not going to make any changes. So I'll show you guys the profile. It's changed drastically since the first time. I ended up getting 6 packs because there were 16 people. So let's see if I got a prismatic. Alright, so far nothing too good. I mean, Jacko-Bolon, or what is it called? Jacko-Bolon is really good in terms of special summoning your opponent's stuff from their graveyard to your field during their turn. It's insane. Okay, I got one of the shorter printed Plunder Patrol monsters, I think. Or, well, no, wait. No, never mind. I think this is just one of the bad ones.
Rip.
Whatever, at least I got a secret. Alright, so next up. Let's see my Lightning Storm. This was actually played on me the other day. It's actually funny. I forgot what it does. It did something. You can detach a material, destroy a face-up monster up to the number of Ad Ignister monsters you control. Wow, so this is Drident. A spell speed 1 Drident. That's hilarious. Generic rank 4, and it's light Cybers. That might come up someday. But we'll see. Another rank 4 to add to the toolbox. Okay, one of the Ancient Warriors. Last 2 packs. I'll get a move on. We want extra time for that deck profile. Oh, man, I got an Ultra as well. Sun Mu. I sold this for $2 the other day, and then it shot up to like 5, so I was kind of upset. More Ancient Warrior stuff. And then final pack for today. I was pretty satisfied with my $6 entry getting all this for free. Another Link guy. Okay, so that kind of sucks. But, hey, whatever. We topped. I lost in Game 3 against Salty Anthony, but we'll get him next time. Alright, so, deck profile. I cut it back down to 45. Because I wanted to see my cards, and let's get into it. The normal summons have stayed the same the entire time I've been playing. Like I was saying earlier, for those of you that are newer, you can't play Mathematician anymore, so you're going with the Scrap Recycler to dump. I don't play the O-Line and the Scrap package. Although it is good going second, I want to completely limit the amount of bricks that I have, which is why I ended up cutting the Shadal engine and the Tenyi engine and all that jazz. But these are the nice normal summons. You also have Rhoda as an extra normal summon and to thin your deck out as well. So you're basically playing 6. Consistency, people. Consistency. Alright, so Orcust package. I've settled on 3 Nightmare. I need to have extra level 7s in my deck, which comes up a lot. Double Symbol, because you need, you really can't afford to banish this or your wand with Gizmek, the honorary Orcust card, because you absolutely need these to continue playing. Like, if you banish, like, all of these, you're going to have a tougher time winning those games, especially since this is a blind second deck. But yeah, this is also a good normal summon, and then when you open this in your hand, you usually have an allure or some way to banish this. You can dump this to grave with your Scrap Recycler or something like that, and then special summon the other one from your hand. That actually comes up a lot more often than you think. And then with a level 8, you can hard make Ding, and that comes up a lot. And then finally, Gizmek as the honorary Orcust card. Gizmek is so good.
No Brass Bombard.
Nope. Brass Bombard is bad. I've never played it in this going second version. Next up, the going second monsters. We've got our Kaiju, the Radiant, and Phantasme. Now, both of these are dark, and both of these are level 7. That's kind of important. It'll come up later, but most of you guys already know. One of spells. So Rhoda is at 1, so you play 1, so you can search the 2 other limited cards that are insane. Foolish Burial, this card should get banned. It's so OP. Monster Reborn. I like Monster Reborn now. It's really good, like, especially going second. You can reborn something from your opponent's grave or use it as an extender. It's so versatile. Terraforming to search out your field spells. Very important. You got Babel and then your other spicy target. The one of Babel. And that's all the one of spells. Alright, so next, the draw power. This is very important. You need to be able to draw into your going second cards. If they draw you, whatever, you lost that game anyway. But yeah, so Allure, very important. You run a lot of darks. Orchestrated Return. You only run 7 Orcust monsters, and then the 2, what's it called? And then you have all the extra deck ones. But this is really good because you can search it, essentially, with Galatea. So 3 is very important. And then here's the spicy card. This also banishes from field. This is Sacred Sword of 7 stars. So any level 7, so like your Phantasme, your Kaijus, your Nightmares. But because you can special summon Nightmare from the banish zone a lot of the time with the wand, and if you already have your Galatea, you can just use this from the field to draw 2 extra cards. So that's all the draw power. Now for the actual cards that you're trying to draw, the cards that win you games, Super Poly and Mystic Mine. So these are the going second spells. You also OTK people with Super Poly because all of your monsters are darks. So you activate it during your battle phase after you've already attacked with your dark monsters and do even more damage. It's absolutely insane. Bonkers. And then Mystic Mine, you play your deck in such a way that you can basically play around this card. Like, Orcust is very good with playing around this card, especially since we have access to Orchestrated Return. This card lets you link up into a Orcust monster and then remove it from the field so you have no more monsters on your field. It's very good.
That today,
yes,
actually,
and
against you.
Yes, you did do that today against me.
I still lost, though.
It happens. But yeah, Mystic Mine is really good, which is why it's like $10 or whatever right now. But yeah, so they should have banned it last list. I don't know what the heck they're thinking. Next up, the only hand trap that I play is Impermanence, because I would play the what's it called? The Forbidden Chalice. The quick play spell that allows you to negate a monster, target it, and do 400, increase its attack by 400, so you can use it during damage step and stuff. I like Impermanence better because this can shut off back row and shut off floodgates, shut off pendulum scales. So that's mainly what I use it for. But I mean, like, if you don't have a field, it's basically just as good as Chalice. You can just activate it, and then if for some reason you do want to negate something, usually you don't want to negate on your opponent's turn. But I mean, like, if you're playing against an Isolde deck, we don't have cross-out designated legal, so you would Impermanence the Isolde just so that you could not have to deal with their full board. But yeah, so Imperm. And then next, you want to draw into your Evenlies. Like, Evenly clears the field. I can't tell you how many times I've opened with this or drawn into it and just cleared fields. And at worst, it baits a negate. Then the last 2 traps, we got Metaverse for that Mystic Mine. And this card's so OP. And then the 1 Crescendo, which is also another OP card. Alright, so let's move on to the extra deck. We got the Nibiru token. We're playing Nibiru again in the side. I think that's correct because it can, like, save your life. So, like, when you think they're going to make you go first and they're playing a deck that can summon a lot, you do side in the triple Nibiru. Next, Super Poly targets. These 3 are the best. There's really not that much room for more. This is 2 darks. This is 3 link monsters, and this is 3 darks. I summoned these 2 today. I didn't face Spiral, or else I would have summoned this one as well.
I despise you for this.
Oh yeah, I did this on Tony today. It was insane. So we had Phantasme, Symbol, and Nightmare, I think, or something like that. And I fused his entire board away, basically. I left him with a scrap recycler, and then he had nothing. And I had my Phantasme, my Galatea, and my Predaplant Trifto... Solemn warning on legs for the extra deck. It's insane. So that's really good. That's really good. Next, the Xyz. We have just 2 ding. This is necessary. And then the rest of the Orcust package. Wish there was room for a 3rd one, although it doesn't really come up since you're going second already. So you're already playing into a board and stuff. So whatever, 2 is fine. And then the 1 long, super necessary. This card is really good for link climbing up into Topologic Zeroboros and attacking for game. Very nice. Next, the utility, and then the Nightmare package. So you got your IP for follow-up plays. You got your Barricade Board blocker, so you can discard cards from your hand at all times. You got your Phoenix for popping back row, and your Unicorn for using with IP or just generic. Or IP, you can, like, summon a ton of different stuff with it, but like especially Trisbana when you're going up against those back row decks. Speaking of Trisbana, we got the Topologic package. This card's insane. And then Boral Sword for OTKs. Because we make Boral Sword so easy, since Galatea is a Link 2 that we can continue to Monster Reborn every turn. Shout out to Team Bad Cards. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my boys. And let's get into the side deck. So the triple Nibiru that I alluded to earlier, unfortunately it's a light, unfortunately it's level 11, but being able to not die is OP. Next, last monster on the side, Pankratops. I ended up cutting Droll and Lockbird. This is for back row decks. Because having the ability to dodge like effect negation, special summon it, and then like force the battle phase, like this card's still really good even to have it 1. And I do have the 3/7 swords, so if I can't summon this, I will most likely have a 7 swords in my hand to banish it and then draw 2 fresh cards to out my opponent's board. Next, we're playing a 2 Demise of the Land. So if your opponent's making you go first, drawing Mystic Mind's not going to be that good. So if you want to be able to play the grind game, this is essentially a Mystic Mind deck now. These go in when you think you're going to be going first, and then when they summon more monsters than you, you put this up, so they're either forced to link off their board, or if you don't control any monsters, they're forced to pass. This special summon, or this special summons, this activates Mystic Mind from deck. So like, it's really powerful. This wins games. Mystic Mind wins games. And it's an unfair card, and that's why I play it. Alright, only 2 Called by the Grave. I only have 2 secrets, but so it kind of works out that I'm only playing 2 on the side. It's a really good card, especially if you think that you're being forced to go first, because it's a reactive spell and trap that you can activate and then stop your opponent's plays. And it also works against decks that you know are playing hand traps that can actually affect you. Like I actually Called by the Grave and Ash, and I was able to play the game in game 2. So that's nice. And then next, back row removal. I've thought about maining these. Like, this is like such a good card against back row decks. It's insane. It's Twin Twisters. Finally, for the sided traps, I'm on the triple Crackdown now. This card is really good, and I just didn't know what else to put in for going first. This is what I put in for Drolls. I can't OTK, and if I just draw my opponent, they're going to go off next turn because I can't OTK, and they're going to play through my 1 or 2 disruptions that I put on the board because I'm a going second deck, and I would just lose. So this at least enables me to take resources from my opponent. Sure, if it gets popped, they get their monster back, but you have to be smart with this card, which is why it's so good. And I think it's running like $5 right now because it's so good. And then final trap, Red Reboot. I've changed my mind about this card. You don't need to be able to OTK if you have Red Reboot. You need to OTK if you have Droll, because that does something different than this. So sure, they get to stop. They get to set a trap from their from their deck and stuff, and they can't activate traps for the rest of the turn. What you can do, though, is because you have such easy access to Topologic Trisbana, you just use it to banish all of their back row and then deal 500 damage per back row, which is really useful. So because this card exists in the extra deck, I do think that playing a Red Reboot in your deck is something that is not incorrect anymore. So I was on the train where Red Reboot is horrible and stuff, but like having the one of is nice because you have access to Topologic Trisbana. But anyway, that is the deck. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is the final version, I feel. I don't want to play any other versions. Like this is what has performed pretty well for me for the past couple of tournaments. So yeah, I just wanted to share this one last change to the list before I continue tearing up tournaments and opening prize packs for you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.